Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. We are back. The show is called TBR SSF Show. It is myself, the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe, together with the Man City Man, Peter Stirrup. Peter, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Welcome, viewers. Welcome, Saubrey. Yeah,
Mm,
lots
mm.
to discuss there.
Look, there's a lot I've just seen. Okay, let me qualify this because it's important that we qualify things or disclaimer. The majority of information that we share, we get it on social media. Well, some of them we get it from the PSL because I'm still there, part of their WhatsApp. So those that we get from PSL, they're authentic. You understand? But it doesn't mean the one that we get social media is not true. So when they say where they smoke, there's fire. Uh, I want you to understand that so that you don't accuse us. All right. You can also make your own verification, verify the information. But we try our best to make sure that we give you as as accurate as possible. I'm saying this because Angelina said, I'm going to sue everybody, small social media influencers and big ones. We had a negative things to say about Argentina. So we need to be very careful going forward. But I think they're correct because people need to be responsible. Remember, one of our principle is responsibility. People need to be responsible. Don't do things to insinuate wrong things. All right. We need to speak accurately. Yes, we are limited in terms of resources, so that is why we cannot give you the authentic things because we don't get some of the information. But we are not stupid. As much as you are, we are all brilliant. We can take one plus one and then come up with something. And then, but we are saying also take the responsibility to verify the information that we give it. Pete, they say
Yeah,
Safa is intending to extend the contract of Hugo Broos by 1 year because come next year is the
Afcon.
Afcon. So now I think they're thinking that no, let's do this so that because he still knows the players, and then he knows where he went wrong. And then a new person, when he comes, he's not going to start afresh. All right. And then I also saw somebody, I can't remember who's that, who said Pito doesn't fit the bill because he does not have international, sorry about that, international experience. I said, that's not right. All right. Jomo had no international experience as a coach, but he took Bafana to, I think it was Burkina Faso, if I'm not mistaken. He got silver. Okay. And then Clive Barker, when he came in, he had no international experience, but he managed to get, the gold. He became the Afcon champion. So it's neither here nor there as far as that is concerned. That's one subject that we are going to talk. We also still want to look at England versus France. What a game. I watched the game. The goals were galore, okay? But Pete is going to lead on that one. Why Pete is going to lead on that one? I know it's a subject that is close to his heart. I always encourage people that people need to know what do we support, okay? So that when we analyze, because we are trying to be as objective as possible, you can assess whether we are honest or what, or we are being blindfolded by our biasness. Okay. Remember, we are not perfect. We are fallible. So I said Peter must do that subject, but that doesn't mean I will not add. I will always add. I will deal the one of Rodri versus Lionel Messi and Argentina. I'm sure for the obvious reason that you know that I'm a Messi man. So, but doesn't mean Peter will be excluded altogether. He will participate.
Sure.
But it's better when he does it. You know, he's got passion as far as that subject is concerned. And it also gives you the opportunity to assess whether we're trying to be as objective as possible. at all times. All right. I hope I'm recording. Is it recording?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's it. That's what is important for now. And then, like we said, please comment. Tell us where we are doing wrong. Tell us where we're doing right. Okay. Pete, Safa, want to extend the coach. Let's start with that subject. I want you to lead me on that subject. I'll come in there and then. What's your take? What is the thinking behind? Is this a good move? I saw one lady doing a TikTok saying, "Oh, Safa, this is what they're doing is wrong. Why they want to extend?" We have opinions. We have many coaches. Okay,
Sure.
so you, from your perspective, I'll give you mine. What do I think about it?
I think Safa have made a possibly a very shrewd move, I think, there. Because, like you say, Bruce has got some track record. I mean, if you look at our World Cup performance, it was pretty good, hey? Uh, obviously we would like to have gone further, but I think we put South Africa on the map there as far as football's concerned in the tournament there, and obviously that was under Hugo Broos's tenure, whilst he was still the coach.
Mm,
Um, if you look at and I watched that Mexico game, the opening game, and to be honest with you, there we got a bit of a lesson there in football, I think. Yeah?
mm,
And I at first I thought, hey, maybe we were overshadowed by the event, the actual opening game, the spectacle that was there in front of us.
mm,
But when England played Mexico, we were actually quite lucky to get through that game because Mexico is quite a team, actually, eh?
mm,
So I think a little bit of experience more on the England side there as opposed to Bafana, but bringing it back to the coach,
mm,
I
mm,
think he did a pretty good job under the World Cup this year.
mm,
And my thinking from a SAFA perspective is they're looking, with the Afcon next year,
mm,
to extend his tenure there, by the 1 year,
mm,
just to keep the ship steady, I think they would say. The team know him, uh, he knows them, and well, I think that's the thinking behind the move there.
mm,
But it's quite fresh news, this, to be honest with you. So we'll see how it pans out.
mm,
At the
mm,
end of the day, he said that was the end. He was going to retire
mm,
at first now, but now apparently he's coming back for negotiations to South Africa. So we'll see how that one plays out. So for me, I think it's if you get a new coach now,
mm,
there's all that new learning sort of like um, experience that comes through.
mm,
Would that necessarily not necessarily a bad thing? Change is as good as a holiday, as they said.
mm,
But I think Safa's thinking is keep the ship steady and let's see how we do in the Afcon. I think that's the thinking behind the move. Do
mm,
I support it? Well, yes, because I'm not seeing anybody sort of like being proposed as the replacement coach. We've had names mentioned, but they're not really strong potential that I've seen so far. So yeah, I'm kind of in the I think it's okay camp. And
okay.
yourself?
Now, let me tell you something. Peter Musiman has raised his hand, okay? And the majority of players who were playing there were local boys, okay?
Mm,
Peter has proven beyond reasonable doubt that he can do the great, all right?
sure.
So, having said what I said, I'm sure Peter would hit the ground running, given
Mm,
an opportunity, all right? For me, it would be between Peter and Bruce himself.
yeah.
Because when it comes to Bruce, I understand. Look, Bruce did well with Afcon, and then he went to the World Cup, and then he qualified for what you call. He qualified for um, He qualified for knockout
The
stages,
coach.
which
Yeah,
was the first in our case as South Africa. So
yeah,
on the basis of that, he knows where things went wrong.
sure.
And I'm sure he'll be able to amend things. And I'm saying this deliberately because I remember one of the guys, what's his name again? I can't remember. Was it Wayne Rooney? I think it was Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney was defending the position of, you'll correct me if I'm wrong. When I say you'll correct you, I mean you, Pete, and also our viewers, okay?
Sure.
Wayne Rooney said, I hear people were making noise that Tuchel went for defense. Then he said, well, to be honest, the modern football is like that. So you can't say the man was wrong. Normally, when you are what you call 10 minutes left, all the teams play that way. All right. So
Are we referring to
England
the so the which
versus especially Argentina, because people were saying why Tuchel went for a defense and so on. So when Bruno said no, that he said that strategy has been proven over and over again that it's working. All right. So remember, people come up with new strategies. Maybe it's then now we can review that. Oh, defending left with 10, 15 minutes is not safe now. Do you understand?
yeah, look, I mean, it worked. It worked in terms of the Mexico game for England. I think there they sort of like parked the bus quite nicely there.
Mm,
But the game against Argentina, it didn't work, and that's because we started that strategy pretty much as soon as we scored the opening goal.
mm,
And I
mm,
think that's where Tuchel came in for a lot of criticism there because of that. I mean, at one stage we had six defenders on the pitch, and you took away somebody like Gordon, who was
mm,
the opener, your outlet basically to get things from a defensive perspective
mm,
and keep, Argentina worried about what about the break. They didn't
mm,
really have that, in my opinion. They didn't really
mm,
have that when they played against Argentina.
mm,
Argentina were just allowed to come and dictate the game
mm,
and eventually it worked out in their favor.
mm. Remember,
But yeah,
okay, yeah. You say, Pete?
oh no, carry on.
Yeah,
It's
I said,
that defense strategy can work.
mm,
I saw that used to be Liverpool's big way of winning the leagues in that, and and they had many years of winning the league and dominance in the English Premier League there. They would go ahead, score a
mm,
goal, and then park the bus. And
mm,
it worked for them during that era now.
mm,
But coaches are getting more wiser to that technique,
mm.
and they're coming up with solutions that can work around that.
Strategy has
Yeah.
been working, to be honest. I remember
Mm.
Lusitano, Highlands Park here at home, Vets University. I remember Jomo would use that. It has been working. That's what Rooney was saying. This is a strategy, a proven and tested strategy that has been working. So people should not pretend as if it was a wrong thing. All right? Maybe, like you are saying, other coaches have come to say, no, let's work around it, this strategy.
Mm.
And I saw
Well,
even Argentina in the final, they were applying
mm.
that strategy. I think Argentina was looking for the penalties. It's simple to
Yeah, and I'm sure they
understand.
were. I'm
It's
sure they
simple
were.
to
Yeah.
understand. Martinez can stop one or two and can destabilize the kicker. I think they were banking on that one. Okay.
Mm.
And so when Bruno was saying, no, 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 it's not like it's a bad thing. All right. So yeah.
Yeah, to what extent though, Saubrey? To what
Um,
extent do you defend? Do you defend with 6 defenders on the pitch there? What is that message you're sending? You know, it's over the top basically there. So I think the criticism of Tuchel in that particular case against
mm,
Argentina was, I think it was valid
mm,
personally.
mm,
Had it worked, you know, maybe, you know, that would have been a different story, but it didn't work.
mm, mm,
But
mm,
then, you know, you have to take the Argentine side of that.
mm.
And you know, they actually played really well to get those 2 goals back.
Mm.
And
So,
what they did, they didn't cover for me in that
mm,
game, the England didn't
mm,
cover the defense of the wings, and that's where
mm,
Messi came into his own there.
mm,
And he basically was just pushing balls across, and
mm,
he actually then, you know, made it possible for, you know, the 2 goals that came, particularly the winning goal.
mm, mm,
So yeah, in that particular case, too early, I think, in
mm,
England.
mm,
Um, yeah, but it can work. It can work. It has worked. Like I
mm,
said, I think it worked basically against Mexico in that last
mm, mm,
game that we played with them there.
mm,
We got that 3rd goal, and then we closed up and we
mm,
managed to push through. But
mm,
I saw that South African opening you know, game with a
mm,
different pair of eyes when I saw Mexico play
mm,
England there. You know, I was just taking it down to,
mm.
you know, they were overawed by the opening and the occasion, you know, that was before them. Um, so yeah, but yeah, let's bring it back. Let's see what happens with you know, what Safa and Bruce if they negotiate an extension or not. Um,
Mm.
Look, Pizzo, I agree with you. Pizzo would be a good manager replacement for him. The problem is, why are they not considering that? Or maybe we don't know if, you know, there's some negotiations with Pizzo going on at the same time. We don't know.
Okay, let me say this. Peter once said he's ready now to take Bafana Bafana. Said I want a bite. Said I've won everything at club level, Champions League, and so on. Now I want to take another bite with Bafana Bafana. I think Peter is ready. And Benny McCarthy, they asked him, he said, no, no, no. If you tell me who's ready, I think Peter is ready. He's even ready than me, meaning Benny McCarthy. He has done it all.
So,
Let him
so
continue.
if he's an obvious fit for that job, why do you think Safa are not appointing him then?
Yeah,
Do you
this is
think he
that.
want? Do you think it's maybe his demands as a coach in that position, you know, goes against what Safa believe there should be?
No, no.
Because I think he's very he knows how to coach, and he
Mm,
doesn't. I don't think he likes any interference in that,
mm.
from what I understand there.
Correct. He's
But
correct. It's correct. Don't need interference because when you fall in a sort. Look, I like Pizzo. I've been saying it many times that I
sure.
would be happy to see Pizzo to take over. But you know what? This is what I want to say to you. This is my observation. There's too much politics in
Oh
football.
yes.
I never thought it is so huge. I knew all along it was there. I'll give an example, a quick one. Remember when you spoke, I said we don't expect a leader, Infantino, to be saying this, I want Messi to win and all that.
Yeah.
Remember Infantino is going for re-election this year.
I think he's got a problem there.
So now I'm just giving you to say
Yeah, sure.
it shows how things can be political. All right.
Mm,
Donald Trump, political now in terms of his rating, it's here and there. Others, many people are not happy. Many people are happy. And then he has been always trying to push to, because he knew that if I have Messi, I have a pick with Messi. Messi's got a lot of following.
mm,
This is my speculation. I still want to qualify it. And then not only that, remember it started with Biden. Biden wanted Messi to come and meet him. So I cannot rule out political issues in the whole thing.
sure.
But I think leaders also There were, but we'll talk about this one of Messi because I want to discuss that subject. So I don't know whether even this one of Safa, it has to do with some political games behind the scene. Let me tell you what's happening now. Currently, there will be elections of Safa. We know that Zungu of Amazulu has thrown his weight behind. He is saying he's going to challenge Danny Jordan. Danny wants to continue, all right? So you'll never know. You'll never know. Probably Danny has, and his team, this is another speculation. Let us not take Bruce for now. We have a new coach, then we get a pressure, and then we start losing our focus. This man has done it. I'm sure he has seen the mistake. He has analyzed. 2027 is just around the corner. Let him go and finish. And once he finish, then we will go to 2030. A new man will be there now. This is what I'm understanding. I'm not saying that's how it is, but I'm saying
sure.
About behind politics or boardroom politics playing a part. All right. But for me, if you ask me where I'm sitting, I wouldn't have a problem with Hugo Broos continuing because I think he has analyzed, he'll be able to know where do I have to go now. All right. Not only that.
Let's watch the space.
Yeah, not only that, having said that, and then I'm sure, as I was saying, I'm sure Pizzo is prepared to say, I want to take over. I'm sure he's more than ready. All right. But we don't know what's happening, you know. Viewers out there, tell us what's your take. Do you think Safa will do this will be a genuine move, or do you think this will fall apart? Yeah, but as I say, politics. I see a lot of politics. Elections of Safa, election of FIFA, and all that. You know, all those things. So that's it. That's me. Let's hear from you. And then I say this is my position. Either way, whether it continues for a 1 year, play the Afcon, maybe we can win the Afcon. Or Pito take over. Pito can take over now. He's a local boy. He knows the players. He knows the majority of those players. There's no problem. And that's the advantage that we have. We're using largely local players. All right? So Pito won't have an issue with that. But I don't know. Okay? And then on the other hand, I wouldn't mind Pito taking over. I wouldn't mind even Bruce going ahead. You have already said you don't mind Bruce taking over.
No.
What you say about Pito? You also said it's fine.
Yeah, I think he would do a good job actually, thinking about it. But do you think that Safa are looking at Pizzo in terms of his experience in such a short time period? 2027, like you said, just being around the corner there. So they want maybe just to hold on to an existing something that they know has got the capability to maybe do it. We don't know. We are speculating, as we say. And maybe even if Bruce does get an extended contract, remember it's still under consideration at this stage. He might say, "No, I'm not happy with those terms," or Safa might, as we know, in the background there, might be talking to other potential coaches, including Pitsu, and they might come out and say, "Well, no, it's going to be this way or that way." We don't know. Yeah, I think from an experience perspective, at that level, coaching the national team, like we said, Pizzo, he wants that experience now. He wants that. So, but Bruce has got it. So, but Bruce has got it. Yeah, that's the problem. I think I see for that at the moment.
Now let me tell you something.
So maybe they're trying to take the safe bet. Let's put it that way.
Now, let me tell you something. Pizzo was a Bafana coach.
Oh.
Yeah, he was Bafana coach, but he took a different approach. And he explained it. which was correct why he explained it, when he explains it. One. Secondly, this will not be happening for the first time. It happens with Jomo Sono. Left with 3 weeks, they went to World Cup for that match. I think it's World Cup of Afcon. 3 weeks. So they've done it before. And Danny was part of the setup. So they have that experience of somebody who can take him within a short space of time. Jomo did that with a very short space of time and he did well. So I don't think that's the issue. But well, let's hear you. What's your take? Is this a correct move or a wrong move? If you say it's a correct move, give us the reason. If it's a good move, give us the reason. Now, Pete, let's move on. Let's analyze England versus France for the bronze.
Great game. Not because England won, but the way that the match unfolded. Coming from such.
Before I go there, sorry about this. I've interrupted you. Let me do the book. Let me do the books quickly, then you move to that subject.
Okay, sure.
All right.
100%.
Now, you know that we are a financial company. Let me share some of the books that we have, and then that you can be able to lay your hands on. One of them is this one. It's called Consciousness of Being God by Luther Lebelo. You can lay your hands on that book and learn from it. Like all of us, we learn every day. Then there's this one. It's called Secrets for Becoming Rich. This is my second edition book. And then there's also a first edition. So you can also lay a hand on this one. Okay. There's also a book by Andy Lemkutama, which says Gupta family versus the Stellenbosch Mafia. It's your choice. If you want to learn more about politics, remember November 4th, we are going to local elections, so you can look at it if you want. Here's another one, Green Shelele by Robert Marawa, the Robert Marawa story. Nice read. I've read that book. I really enjoyed it. So if you want to learn more how Robert, navigated. And here's another one. The book is called How to Get Out of Bad Debts, Use Other People's Money and Resources to Get Rich. So that's another book that you can get. Let me share now the last one. This one is called, the book is called How I Turn 500 Rand into a Million Rand Business. You can do the same. If one person can do it, what will stop you not to do it? Okay, Pete, England.
Yes.
And France.
It was a great game. I think, I enjoyed every minute watching that game, to be honest with you.
You think it was
just entertainment.
It was supposed to be the final? Because the final was a bit boring.
Well,
the final
look at France.
Yeah.
If you look at the way that France lost that game to Spain, and you look how England lost that game to Argentina, both of them were playing, in my opinion, negatively. So when it came to the third and fourth playoff, which a lot of people would say, who cares about third or fourth? Nobody remembers these guys, which is probably true. Well, they came to the party with a proper football show there, and played what was pretty much for most of the game attacking football both ways. Obviously, England dominated in the first half, going in at 4-0. And then people will say to you now, well, hey, but now they tried to play park the bus again, after half time, and that's why France came back. I actually don't think that was the case. I think France decided they were going to play their game of football, and well, sure, it got to 4-3, as we know. And it could quite easily, if it wasn't for that penalty decision that Saka scored his hat trick, having scored 2 goals earlier. I think that gave us that two goal decision again. Yeah, and then
this World Cup was exciting. You had hat trick by Messi, hat trick by Saka. This never happened in the World Cup. There was also a hat trick by Mbappe 2022. The standard has improved because hat trick is a rare thing. All right, Pete, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, so we managed to get over the line there. So, and I think there was still a little bit of parking the bus to a certain degree there. Once that two-goal decision got made there, and then Bellingham scored what for me was a fantastic goal there. I
Mm.
mean, he's such a talent, this guy.
He is.
And
He
then that,
is.
yeah, and then Dembele actually came back and made it 4-6, and that's the way it ended up there. So if you look at the match, it was a festival of football, attacking football, I think,
Mm.
generally speaking.
Mm.
And I really enjoyed the game. And it showed, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that should have been the final. But the way that France and England played in those semi-finals didn't work for them. And
Mm.
so obviously we ended up with the Argentinians versus the Spaniards, yeah. Which in terms of the final as a spectacle was pretty quiet, I thought, it's
Mm.
I thought it might have been a bit more entertaining
Mm.
than what it actually was. And then, obviously it went to extra time and Florent Torres scored the goal. He
Mm.
was an ex-Manchester City player apparently as well. I
Mm.
don't remember him actually, if I'm
No, no,
honest,
no.
but
I saw him. I saw him at
yeah,
Manchester. Pep
yeah,
was not using him much. He would
yeah,
use him as a sub. To be
mm,
honest, at Manchester, he's not what he is now at Barcelona.
sure,
At Manchester City, he was there, but he was not what I see now at
no,
Barcelona. At Barcelona, he looks like a monster for me, and he's playing well.
mm,
And then my take on the World Cup, I think, like I said, I think Scaloni, the plan was let's defend till the penalties. And the other thing that I noticed, Barcelona on Argentina, they look very tired. All right, they were tired, and then I hear people making noise like, "Hey, hey, hey!" Messi wasn't there. He was not getting the supply. That's
mm,
another thing that you notice. He was not getting the supply because Messi would need the supply and assist. Well, there was this brawl which I wasn't happy about. Again, as
sure.
I say, qualify it. These are the news that we get on social media. We are not sure whether we are correct with what we get. So, so now they said, as per social media, they said, what's his name? Um, I said, man, Paredes. He said what angered him. And I must say, if that is true, it also angered me. I'll tell you why. You've got Gavi, who has always been saying, I'm a Messi fan. Messi, you are looking up to him and all that. Apparently, he said, you guys, do you think that the referee is going to buy this for Messi? All right. Then Paredes
Mm,
said, you can't say that about Messi. And if that is the case, I agree with Paredes, but I don't agree with his actions.
mm,
But a Gavi, who's playing for Barcelona is what it is today, it's Messi. If you remember quite well, Barcelona was not a competitor when you compared with Real Madrid. Then Maradona came, then they were proven Maradona was left. Then Rivaldo came and bring them to another level, but not much. And then Brazilian Ronaldo came and then he gave them, but he left, he went to Madrid. And then including your Figo, they left to Real Madrid. So they were not a contender. They were not competing with Real Madrid. When Messi came, the years that he spent there, Barcelona took the league 8 times. 8 times. All right. And then Real Madrid twice. He made them a force to be reckoned with. And they end up being worldwide known. That's Messi. All right. Now you have a youngster who said, I'm looking at Messi. I even appreciate what Lamine Yamal did because we could not see all their shots. Né? He went to Messi, sat down with him, and you could see that Messi was appreciating.
Sure.
And it doesn't mean that Lamine Yamal played better than Messi on that day. He was not so excellent, okay? Even for the tournament itself, all right?
No.
But I appreciated it. Okay. And Messi said himself that I was happy to see what we were doing at La Masia. Remember, I still love Barcelona. Will carry Barcelona to the next era. Now you have this youngster, Gavi, if that is true, okay, I still want to repeat, who said Messi is my hero, blah, blah. The next thing he says this. So, but Paredes, he was too violent. All right. I don't stand for that. Okay. But
So what happened?
Argentinian players, as far as Messi is concerned, you touch Messi, you
You
touch.
will, yeah, sure, but you will get goaded, in order to, get a reaction out of you, and in some respects, use that to your advantage. I mean, we saw, and you know what, Argentina in the semi-final against England, and even in this final there,
Mm,
they they were they were very dirty players.
mm,
There was a lot of niggle, and it was all in a way to upset the opposition.
mm,
And I don't even think England nor Spain actually rose to that, to be honest with you.
mm,
But there was a lot of complaints about, fouls being let go,
mm,
or, being given, but not no cards being given.
mm,
And what disappointed me more than anything else,
mm,
apart from the obvious brawl at the end of the game,
mm,
because you must lose as a professional, you must lose humbly.
mm,
I mean, look what happens during the game. You want to win it, you don't. You're passionate about it. You're passionate for your teammate, i.e. Messi in this particular case. You should just let those sort of comments, if they were true, to just ride over your shoulder and show dignity
mm.
up until the end there. Um, but there were a lot of cards I think that could have gone, and well, actually, there were some cards that actually did occur. And obviously that's why there was a red card at the end there. I mean, that tackle from Fernandez, Enzo Fernandez on the player, it was a young player, Corella, I think it was. Yes, that guy was spinning in the air, Saubrey. Um, it was rough. It was rough. And I think, I know, understand, you need to be maybe a little bit physical in some games, but I think they went a little bit over the top there, Argentina in both those games. Um, and they were tending to get away with a lot of it. And I think the referees, to give them their due, they let things go a little bit in the first halves there. Because if you start waving yellow cards to the extent that it could have happened, then you're going to destroy what would have been, the final game by sending.
As much as it said, it's important for players to be hard. Simeone said, I like players who are hard, who are fighting fighters, but I don't like people who are stupid. He was referring to Enzo Fernandez, his mistake. You were talking about the yellow card, Pete? Yes?
Yeah, I was saying that I think if you look at the World Cup as a whole there, not specifically just Argentina there's been many sort of like hard tackles, etc., because it's a competitive game, and it's a contact sport when all said and done. But I think the referees have been a bit lenient in the first half for a good reason, because we don't want yellow cards and that sort of thing to accumulate in the first half, and potentially ruin what could be, in this case, a great World Cup final. Although it actually didn't pan out to be a good World Cup final eventually. There, it was a little bit based on the third and fourth player. It was a little bit quiet, if and it, I dare I say, a little bit boring. Um, when a team like Argentina doesn't have a single shot on goal in the first 90 minutes, maybe that's you can attribute that to Spain having dominance in that midfield area. Maybe not. I'm not sure, but it wasn't the spectacle that the third and fourth playoff was. So what do you say, Sobri?
Pete? For me, what I saw, like I said, I think, what do you call it? I think Argentina, they were looking for a penalty. Simeone, as I said earlier on, he said, I like ambitious fighters and so on, but he was questioning why Enzo did what he did during a final towards the closing stage and get a red card. Because according to Simeone, that one man down had an effect. And this is how I analyze it. Those boys, I think they really wanted the World Cup so badly. If I compare them, the same players to 2022, the same players in 2022, they were more disciplined. This rough game that you saw this time, it wasn't there. I think it was more we want to win as much as we can. And I think what was playing in their mind, this is the last World Cup for Messi. We like it or not, we must win it. So that played in their minds. And I was wondering how Messi is going to respond.
He's devastated.
Yeah, and how is he going to respond? I think it's Zlatan. He said, no. The people who were celebrating, they were not celebrating because Spain won. He said, it was the Portuguese, it was the Brazilians. He mentioned 3 countries. It was the Penaldo fans. Said those are the people who are celebrating more just because Messi didn't win. And I didn't know why the media were making it Messi versus Messi versus Spain, because it turned out to be like that. He said it was not an issue of Portugal played a very good football and they're celebrating that. Ronaldo performed a spectacular performance, they're celebrating that. Brazil did well. It was just, in other words, he was saying it is bordering on envy. All right? That's what he was saying. To say, no, it's a question because they envy Messi. All right? Then Zlatan went further on this rough, yellow cards. I think it was after Egypt. He said, if that was the case, that Egypt was robbed, he said, why in 15 minutes allow Argentina to equalize? To score 1 and equalize and lead 3 goals. He said they could have scored the 4th one themselves or the 3rd one themselves. He said the mistake was they went to a line to defense, like we were saying. They say ball in the pass, they 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they'll go and pack the pass. And unfortunately, things have changed. Messi was dropping deep and then facing them. He said that's where the problem was. All right. And having said what I said, I was really disappointed. And to also learn Torres, who scored the winning goal. Look, I don't have any problem for him to say I support Ronaldo. This is dedicated for Ronaldo. You don't say that. When you know that Messi, where he is now, is not feeling well, you are rubbing salt onto the wound. Then he said, I dedicate to Ronaldo. Why was he not being saying that all along? No one is against you saying I support Ronaldo. There was this boy who was playing for Man United, who's an Argentinian. He has been vocal that I'm a fan of Ronaldo. Fair enough. Messi said, no, everybody has a choice. You see, sure. For me, for Ferran Torres to say that, it was unbecoming. For me, it borders around envy. He envies Messi. Didn't want to say it. It was not an appropriate time to say that. You could have said it maybe after, or maybe even before they played the World Cup. All right. So maybe he was afraid of the backlash from the Barcelona fans. All right. But I don't know. That's my opinion, Peter. I may be wrong. I don't know. I didn't take it well. Okay. But the violence of Paredes, I hope they're going to investigate and come up with the appropriate.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, he was the most aggressive player, in my opinion. Paredes was the most aggressive player in that Argentine side, even on and off the pitch, obviously, because we're talking about what happened off the pitch. But if you look at the England game, he was really, really rough, and he was the same, in the Spain game as well. So I think he does deserve to be disciplined in some way, shape, or form. What that means, we'll only have to wait and see in the future there to see what happened there. But I think there was a lot of undercurrent, like, before, after the game, during the game. There was a lot of back chatting. There was even that one period where Messi uh, called the referee over and said that Cucurella was covering his mouth to say something, uh, and he wanted to, get him booked or sent. Well, actually, it's an automatic red
Send off,
card, isn't
send
it?
off, send
Yeah.
off.
So,
Let me
you
ask
know,
why
yeah.
just was he wrong to do that? Messi.
No, not necessarily. He's the captain. I think he can make a call on that sort of thing, but I don't think it's becoming of a player, even if it is Messi in that class, to go to the referee and, ask for cards or whatever this. I mean, we saw it in other games where players, were asking for other players to be carded. For me, that's unsportsmanlike. That's the referee's choice as to whether he decides to you know to sanction somebody because of whatever they've done on the pitch there. And over and above that, you've got the VAR, who could, have referred that back to the referee or whatever. I don't think it's a player's place to actually advise the referee on what he's doing or not doing. I just don't think it's right. We have to, I mean, they're officiating the match. It's their job. Let them do it. Yeah.
This is how I understand it. And I hope I'm not
Mm.
explaining it because I'm a Messi fan. That is the new rule that has just been introduced.
Correct.
And as I say, football it's all about psychology.
Mm.
Messi was aware that now we are one man down. It's not going to be fair now. Okay?
Mm.
Then he saw that. He said, let me balance issues. And you see, for me, I didn't say anything wrong. It's like in boxing, Muhammad Ali will tease you till to the end. All right?
Mm.
So for me, he wanted to capitalize. Moreover, it's a new rule that has just been
Mm.
introduced just
Sure.
before the World Cup to say when you cover your hand, it's a red card. We don't negotiate. Remember the reason was because of racism.
Well, not just racism, it's any kind of like ungentlemanly conduct towards your opponent player.
No,
But
no,
yes, it was introduced predominantly because of potential racism on the pitch. Yeah.
they said that most of the what you call players, when they were insulting another player, they would do that.
Mm.
So that is why FIFA said, no, we cut it. If you do it, your own teammate is fine. You're talking to each other.
Yeah, sure.
But to an opponent, we don't know what you are saying. Red card. Messi was saying, follow the rule. That's me. If I'm saying this because I support Messi, I'm saying this
Mm.
because the rule is there. Why don't you implement it? And I'm saying,
Well,
I'm coming from his perspective. We are one man down, and I know if
yeah,
it's
sure.
down, remember, Argentina, they're not one man down, they're two men down because Messi is always not marking. All right? So
Mm.
maybe he was saying, no, let's balance the issues. He was taking his chance. That's how I
Well,
understand.
he's a captain and he's allowed to approach the ref and with anything that he deems is to be discussed. Let's put it that way. But for me, I don't know. It For me, I don't know. I don't like players going to the
Interfering.
referee and pleading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let the referee and VAR do their job. And for me, if a player asks for a card for another player, you should receive that very same card.
Mm.
That's the way I would do it.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got the celebration here.
Yeah, the celebration. But before we go to the celebration, I wanted to say the one of Paredes, you are correct. It's not only here. I saw him playing for PSG. He's just that kind of a player, like
Yeah.
Ramos. He's just like that kind of a player, like Sergio Ramos. You know, they will make sure they will kick you out of the game. So that is his play. But the violence that he meted to that player,
Ugh.
I did not appreciate it. All right.
I mean, the guy spun in the air, eh?
Yeah, I did
That
not.
player he span in the air. That was some hit, that thing.
No,
And that's
that one I see. There's this young man, very talented young man, whom they say could be the next Messi, the Argentina Almada. I think he plays for Real Madrid. He tripped him first. I don't know whether I saw that before
can't
Perez,
remember now.
before Perez can unleash the shot.
So he's already going.
Yeah, so I was happy. All right, but football is a
Oh
game.
no, that actually we're wrong. That was Enzo Fernandez that made that tackle. Actually,
Mm-mm,
it was Enzo Fernandez, and that
mm-mm.
resulted in his second yellow card, wasn't it?
No, 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 no. During the brawl, after
Oh yes, yeah, the brawl.
during the brawl.
I'm talking about on the field there when
No,
Enzo Fernandez got sent off. Yeah.
during the brawl after the game,
Mm.
I
Mm.
was surprised that Almada, young as he is, playing in Spain. But sometimes, football is a game of
Yeah.
emotions. Yeah,
Yeah,
emotion.
it's passion.
You don't think straight.
Mm.
And I don't know. You heard that England? They said Chelsea. They said, and I want to hear your opinion there. They say
Mm.
Fenzo must leave
Yeah,
for
I heard that. Yeah.
England. What's your take about it? Do you think it's fair?
Well, it's obviously not fair, but I understand where the England fans are calling for his head there, because one thing I can tell you, those guys that play in England now that were demonstrating at the end of the game with the white banner and whatever they're going to get a hard time in England now. They're going to be booed from the beginning of the game till the end of the game. Um, and I don't know how long that's going to go on, but watch this space.
Hmm.
So we'll
Well,
see.
go
But
on, go on, go
no,
on.
I don't think Enzo Fernandez. Look, he's probably gonna be he will be sanctioned because of the red card, and there could be further actions against him. And I think once he's done his time, he's done his time. When he comes back to England, that's a different kettle of fish. Um, yeah, uh,
Understand that one.
that's that. Yeah,
This time,
I don't get that one.
no, this time it's Chelsea that says
He
we
must go.
want, yeah. That's the question that I want to ask.
Well, oh,
Chelsea,
then
remember
that's his team.
I'm talking about leaders here.
Yeah, sure,
All right. Chelsea's owned by, look, leadership is important. One of
sure.
one of the cutting edge, one of the defining moments of leadership is to be calm even there is a storm.
Mm,
If there is a storm.
agreed.
Now, Messi knows very well that these boys, they fight for him. Now,
Right.
so I say, judge me whether I'm saying it because I'm a fan of Messi or what I'm saying makes sense. He's a leader of the team. When that brawl was happening, I don't know, I don't think he was participating. Instead, he was trying to separate them. He was calm. Of course, he was crying. Okay.
Mm.
Then I then said, let me follow up and see what Messi, how is he going to respond? Because I know these boys were doing it for him. Then he said, I'm proud of this team. He never condemned that thing.
Mm.
Um, somebody from a quick thing might say he should have condemned it. All right. But one day, I think I listened to, I think was it Aguero? I think I can't remember what he did do. He said, hey, Messi will sanction you when you do something wrong. But on the side, all right?
100% correct. Yeah, you don't put that down in public.
Yeah, I'm
It's a
saying,
bit like yeah,
yeah, say it.
it's a little bit like if your wife says something in public and you don't like it or whatever, you don't address that. You don't address that in that very same public area there. You just wait until that you two are on your own, and then you discuss it out and say, well, I didn't like that, or whatever the case may be.
Mm.
This is a similar incident. Messi would never condemn his team in public or whatever the case may be. But I'm sure, knowing Messi, that he would have, even though were playing for him, they went over the top, and I'm sure he would have had something to say about that to his teammates.
Mm.
That's my thought anyway, and it's pure speculation. But I just know the man. He's humble and he does things pretty much in the right manner.
Yeah, what I was questioning here is not about the fans. The fans are like me and Saddam and yourself.
Yeah, sure.
We
Yeah,
can say whatever that we say.
yeah, sure.
It's not about that. The fans and so let me apologize about that phone that rang. It may be terrible to the viewers and listeners out there. Now, I'm referring to leadership, Chelsea leaders, for them to say, don't come here. Why they behave like fans? Fans, they have ticket to do whatever. You know why we say that? Remember, fans, they spend their money to go there. And even if you have won, they get nothing. For them, what is important is enjoyment. So, they're entitled to do those things, but I don't expect this from leadership. That is why I was questioning Infantino, why he's saying, as a leader, I want Messi to win. Even if you don't say I don't want Messi, but any insinuation, that is why people thought it was Messi. All right?
Yeah.
And Messi didn't.
100%.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Leaders
100%.
lead. All right. And leadership involves many things because you manage emotions. If Chelsea are doing that, I'm not in favor of that as leadership of Chelsea. They were not supposed
I think maybe that's speculation. We don't know that,
Remember,
that Chelsea did so.
Other thing we said, we get the news from social media. We are subjected.
Yeah, sure.
It can be wrong, it can be right.
Yeah.
People can also verify. But I was just saying, if that is the case, I'll be disappointed. Here the price is peaked, as you can see.
Big money, yeah.
51 million US dollars. Can you give us the numbers? Can you see them?
I can see them, yeah. Okay, so Spain, would you like that in rands or in dollars?
Yeah, in rands. No,
in
in
rands.
rands.
So Spain, in Spain, for Spain, it was almost 928 million. That's how much they got from rands, yeah. Argentina coming second, they got 618 million. This is not exact figures, obviously. There's a few spots after the comma there.
Yeah.
England, they got 546 million rands, and France got 509 million. For the quarterfinals, if you qualify for quarterfinalists, you would have got 364 million. And if you made the round of 16, you would have got 291. Now, obviously, the ones that progress past the round of 16 and quarterfinals, they don't get that plus that winning amount there. They get the higher amount, which is quoted in the first top four there. And then round of 32, South Africa would have made 218.4 million rands.
Is it not nice for us? To us, it's a lot of money.
100%. 100%, yeah.
218 million have never received that money.
Mm.
Yeah, it sounds very good. I'm proud. I'm proud. They've done well. They've done well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so long as we push that back into football there, it's gonna do it's gonna be good. It's gonna be
Mm,
good for us to get these trophies. And it's the same with our local teams when they do well in Africa and the like, Afcon and all those sort of tournaments there. There's prize money to be had that can get pushed back into the football and just to make us even better than what we are at the moment now. But there was a 1 billion total prize money up for offer during this World Cup.
mm,
1 billion US dollars.
mm.
And that's so many zeros in rands, I don't even
Uh,
know how to calculate that. Yeah. So
mm,
it's a lot.
mm. Now, let me put it this way.
Mm,
Here, I need to congratulate FIFA.
mm,
I know that they've shared how do they use this money. They give it to federations, okay?
mm,
The Safa, for instance, they have the under 17, under 16, Banyana, who are not well supported to get the money in
mm.
terms of the gate taking and sponsorship. So they get the money. I hope Safa, I'm not saying anything, I'm not insinuating anything. I hope this 218 million is a lot of money to us. Will be used. There's a guy, Steinbock. I'm told he's the guy who discovered Tebogo Mokoena and Mbuto. He has been complaining that at some point he has to use his money, his car. So I hope this will help to eliminate those, allow
Yeah.
those guys, those soccer federation, let them see getting something. You know, there's a guy here, he's late, Bra Isaac Dube, the way he loved football. You know, the association in the township.
Mm,
Here we used to call them Abopresa, president in other words. Abopresa. You know, they'll take the jerseys, they'll be washed by their homes, by their wives and kids for the players. So I hope even those pressers, those associated, will get something so that unlike all the time they spend from their hard-earned money, for the love of the game. But to be honest with you, FIFA has done a lot. We have heard that 2010 legacy, we were told that it was supposed to address so many issues. I know there are challenges around that. So FIFA, when it comes to that, I'm saying heads off to them. All right. Remember
But
this
here's a thought though. Here's
before
the
you go
thought though,
there,
Saubrey.
before you go there, there is also
Uh,
this the team that is represented, in other words, the local team, they are going to get money.
Good.
Like Enzo
Invest.
has been representing Chelsea. Chelsea is going to get the money
Sure.
for the first. So, like Barcelona, for instance, the majority of players of the national team was from Barcelona. They're going to get a huge money. So you see,
Mm,
FIFA has done well to try to spread. You can't satisfy everybody, all right? And Infantino said, we are going to analyze, we are going to see whether these hydration breaks are working or are not working. We are going to analyze everything. And then are we going to continue with how many teams there were? It was 32.
Uh,
No, no.
no,
Beginning-
no. At the beginning of the World Cup, it's 48.
Yeah. Then he said we are still going to debate whether we still have to go to 64 or
Mm,
at 48. Now let's look at 48. We saw 48. Now I can talk about the spin-off of 48. For the first time, I saw 10 teams in Africa in the World Cup. Do you understand?
mm.
So that's the spin-off. And then remember me and you were saying, it'll be too much game. They can extend to 64 and allow more substitution. If you have to substitute 11, now, you know what we'll do? Teams will have more players, so the money will be shared by more people. I don't know. What's your thought?
Well, definitely they go to 64, but they will have to get bigger squad sizes. They will, because it'll be a grueling punishment, for to qualify and then obviously play through that 64 teams
Mm,
in the respective groups until they get to what we're displaying here now, third, fourth,
mm,
etc., etc. Um, look. I just worry about the players. But if they have an extended squad and they've got the money to extend that squad, uh, you know, then so be it. So, and this is why I look at this prize money there, and I think to myself, well, okay, fine. We got 218 million,
Mm,
218.4 million
mm,
for South Africa there, which is good. I don't get
mm,
that.
mm,
But, if you compare it to Spain and Argentina in the top four there, it's it's a little bit behind. And so obviously you get more out the more you invest. So
exactly.
I'm just worried that that gap's just going to get a little bit too big if we're not careful there. So we have to invest into our football leagues and the setup that we've got this side in order for us to go even further than what we have done this time, being the round of 32. So let's hope it all goes there. But the point that I was going to make here,
Mm,
if you think of that total prize money being $1 billion
mm,
US dollars now,
mm, mm.
what kind of profit do you think FIFA made out of this tournament?
Well, it's
It's
huge.
going to be it's going to be a huge amount, yeah.
It's huge. It's huge.
Mm.
But look, they deserve it. They deserve it.
Well, look, it's yeah,
This well,
but
this
now
well.
put that into context with the price of the tickets. So you can bring this back into the ticket prices being just pure um, profiteering and excluding a lot of fans that couldn't even afford that kind of money that they were asking for those games there. So there has to be that balance, between
Mm,
making money, which is important
mm,
for FIFA and all concerned, and not shutting out your fans because they can't afford those kind of ticket prices.
mm, mm,
So, it's a double-edged sword that it's not
mm.
quite as easy as you know make rather take that money and make the tickets more accessible
Affordable.
to
Mm,
people. Yeah,
mm.
affordable. That's correct. Yeah.
But maybe
So
they
yeah,
may say we are taking the money back to football, just like I've
they
just.
do say that. They do say that, but I'm not sure how
No, 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 no.
transparent they are.
Remember. I said, for
Mhm.
instance, this information I got it. I think social media gave. We've
Yeah, no, I'm not talking. I'm not talking about the prize money. I think that's pretty obvious. What's been awarded to who. But in terms of FIFA's profit, how do they
oh,
spend that and invest
okay,
and replow that back into the respective leagues there to make them even better?
okay. Let's move on to the next
Yeah.
subject. Let us not forget that Mbappe won the Golden Boot. Did well,
Yes.
10 goals. Messi with 8, Lionel, and then Jude Bellingham with 7.
Mm.
I'm grateful for what Mbappe did. And then, yeah, now I go back now because now I'm going towards closure. And then the issue of Rodri, it has sparked a debate. Guess what? I hear it from Piers Morgan. Doesn't agree. Why was Rodri given? Piers Morgan, for that matter, said Messi was robbed daylight. Not only Piers Morgan only. Mbappe himself said, no, it doesn't make any sense. Messi was the clear-cut winner. This is a player who's playing, all right? And then
Mhm.
Abramovich, from right immediately after that, he started saying, there's something wrong. Yeah,
Well, th there was also commentary from Wayne Rooney and Alan Shearer also weighed in on that,
no,
and
Ray,
they basically. Mhm.
okay. I remember
Do you
what,
want to say something, person?
yeah, Wayne
It,
Rooney said he is also amazed why Messi could not win it.
yeah, but he has an opinion on something here that's quite interesting. He said um, when France got knocked out in the semi-finals, they were particular. They don't really feature in terms of the Golden Boot anymore because effectively they might be playing third and fourth against England, but those goals, it's not part of the winning sequence that takes you up to the final. So what they're saying is that Mbappe's goals maybe shouldn't um, shouldn't have counted towards a golden boot.
Mm.
But I also looked into the criteria. Do you know the criteria?
Mm.
What how they measured this thing? It considers multiple factors beyond goals scored. Technical skill, ball control, passing, dribbling, tactical awareness, impact on matches. Now, this is where Messi actually is, it does come to the front. Leadership and character. I mean, it's for me, if you compare the two players that are being, Rodri versus Messi for the golden ball, and then team performance. Now, I think this is where one could argue that maybe the tide turned on Argentina. Team performance, contribution to the team success through the award can go to a player whose team does not even win the tournament. So they'll even consider, you don't have to win the World Cup in order to be considered for that golden ball.
Mm.
And then it says fair play and class, sportsmanship and conducting and conduct during matches. Even if one takes that, how did they come to that adjudication? It's determined by a technical study group who shortlist and media voting. So the technical study group actually accumulates the shortlist,
Mm.
and then media actually decide who should get and who shouldn't get. Now, I think that's probably where it swayed slightly against Lionel Messi in this case because of the way that Argentina conducted themselves in a way in the semis and the final. So I think it was almost like it's not looking at Messi the individual, but they were voting with their hearts that said, well, Argentina don't really deserve this. That's an opinion. I'm not saying it's a factual.
But these are individual awards. Let's go head to head. They played
That's
eight.
correct. Yeah. No.
They played eight
Yeah.
matches. Minutes. Messi
Yeah.
played 620, 720
Yeah.
goals. Messi scored 8.
Yeah.
Rodri, nothing.
Yeah.
Assist
Yeah.
as a midfielder, Messi 4, because Rodri is a
Yeah.
midfielder, and then Rodri 0. And then goal involvement, Messi 12, Rodri 0. This one, average rating, Messi it was 9.9 in other words, Rodri was 7.7. And then in terms of the man of the match, which is very critical for me, because when you're a man of the match, you have beaten 21 guys in the field of play. Messi's got 5 and then Rodri 1. And then shots on target, Messi 18, Rodri 0. I don't know what is XG. I don't understand that one. The key passes,
Yeah.
dribbles, 24, Rodri 2, Jewel's win. Remember, there is this myth that Messi is not marking, but Jewel won, Messi 51, and then Rodri 49. And then
Yeah.
that is
I
why,
hear you. I hear you.
yeah, that is why probably you saw that they won. Messi won what you call IFFH Player of the Year. Remember, IFF
Mm.
largely is between midfielders. All right, so they gave him that award. I think they've muddied this thing, to be honest. And now, what does that tell me? It also tells me that even the Ballon d'Or now they're going to be worried. Because the other factor that people are pushing, Messi does this thing at the age of 39. No one has done it. Okay?
Yeah.
You got cut.
So
No
he's
one,
what he won. So the
no one has
Golden
done
Ball,
it
he's
at the
won it.
age of 39. Okay, Pete?
So Lionel Messi is the only player to have won the Golden Ball twice, by the way. It's in 2014 and 2022.
Yeah.
And yeah, one could put a case together, basically saying that, it didn't seem fair. Um, that would not be an unfair assessment of actually what went down there. But look, Rodri's a class player,
Yeah, no, no,
but
we all agree.
but they seem to favor Rodri. Like you say, the Ballon d'Or, when he won the Ballon d'Or, there was a lot of controversy thinking that maybe Dembele would have won it or even, others. And he came through there. So But you see, this is the thing now. This is the thing that FIFA's got to get through. They've got to get through the feeling that they are biased when in actual fact they're there to be independent. It's things like that. It's perception. It's not necessarily factual. But at the end of the day, perception is really important. That's why we'll have to see what happens in November when they do re-elect, the FIFA president there, because there's a huge fallout between UEFA now and FIFA, based on the presumed political interference there, which brought the American player back onto the pitch having received a red card. And they were making comparisons to Jade Spence, who got also a red card and he got a 2-match ban, so he could only feature in the final. Whereas the young man in question there, I can't remember his name, but Bellador or something like that. He was brought back and they held up his suspension there. And it's things like that that are creating this perception that, they're maybe not as independent as what people would want them to be. So got to manage it, got to manage that perception. But look, if you look at those numbers, it does question, it does make it a little bit questionable, I would say.
Okay, guys, out there, throw your opinion. Please comment. What's your take? Do you think this was a fair or unfair to Messi? Now, remember our question was, should Safa continue with Hugo Broos for a year, or should they get a new man? You can discuss any topic that you like that we touched on, but our leading is that one of Safa. Pete, this debate won't stop. It will continue.
No, it won't.
You know what?
That's why we love it, because your opinion's as good as mine, even if it differs.
Yeah, I remember. I think one of the guys who said, guys, for that matter, Pele, who was regarded the greatest, he retired at the age of 36. Messi's 39, for God's sake.
Yeah. Ronaldo
is 41, but Ronaldo has never made any impact. Whether at 40 or 39, Messi has done that impact. Be the judge. Others were starting to bring politics because Netanyahu said, I support Argentina. Now they want to classify. But I said, Messi went to India not long ago. What about that? Pete had to cut. I don't know what happened. He just got cut. So we don't have Pete anymore. But in any way, thank you very much for everything. And then keep on subscribing. And then like and comment. We gave you nice topics. Remember, football is a game of opinions. With different opinions, we are million coaches. So thank you so much for everything. And then we are looking forward to the next show. I thank you.
Kgotsong, ke le tsebisa ka buka ya ka e buang ka tsela yeo ke tsamaileng bophelong ba ka. Le tla utlwa ka mathata ao ke bileng le ona le katleho yeo ke fihletseng. Hape le hore radio e nkahile jwang hore ke fetole bophelo ba ka. Takatso ya ka ke hore o fumane buka ena ya ka e tla fetola bophelo ba hao. Ya buang ke Dr. Chomani. Take it easy.